Among the many powerful foes that the heroes from Stargate Command have contended with, the invasive technological terrors known as the Replicators prove themselves to be one of the greatest threats they would ever face. In this video, I'd like to talk about the rise of the Replicators and their systematic invasion that threatened all biological life in the Milky Way Galaxy. Spoiler warning, as I will be talking about significant plot details that occur throughout the Stargate SG1 series. The Replicators are first known only by their fearsome reputation as the enemy of the highly advanced and benevolent Asgard race, a malevolent force far more lethal than any that the members of the SGC had ever encountered before. The Replicators are technological life forms with the singular purpose to consume all available resources in order to make more of themselves, to replicate. These machines originated in the Milky Way Galaxy on the world designated P3S517. On this world, a highly advanced human civilization once thrived until one day when their technological achievements would be their undoing. A scientist created an incredibly sophisticated android which apparently was designed with the purpose of mimicking humans. The android, named Reese, looked like a human female and was even built so as to have a pulse to help maintain the illusion of her humanity. Reese was powered by an internal power cell, and her systems were maintained by millions of microscopic nanites designed to work together as a self-repair mechanism. Despite being a technological marvel, Reese's complex neurological systems were flawed as she displayed a childlike immaturity that belied sinister inclinations. The population grew fearful when Reese began to amuse herself by using her nanites to reorder matter from raw materials in order to create mechanical insects she called toys. Reese's emotional immaturity, coupled with such powerful abilities, ended up being a lethal combination. Fearing the impending destruction of herself and her toys, she taught her creations to defend themselves and how to replicate on their own. A single replicator is composed of multiple blocks which communicate with each other to form links and assemble into various forms depending on their current objective. Several blocks are required to work together to make new blocks. Their most common and numerous form came to be that of a large mechanical spider. Once they reached a large enough number, Reese lost control of her creations, and the swarm swiftly overwhelmed and destroyed the civilization of her homeworld. Each machine is capable of independent behavior, yet they all act with a common purpose: self-replication. With this ever-present directive, they abandoned their creator and the planet to seek out raw materials with which to increase their number. This objective is also coupled with their programming to protect or defend themselves. Consequently, they seek out the most advanced technology they can find to incorporate it into the next models they create, upgrading their defensive capabilities as they replicate. Their pursuit is also unwavering in that no matter the size of their population, no matter the upgrades they receive, they will always seek to replicate, no matter the consequences to biological life. In consuming Asgard technology, they became far stronger, smarter, and more numerous than ever before. While the exact details of the Asgard's first encounter with the Replicators are unknown, it is likely they first discovered the machines somewhere in the Milky Way, perhaps after detecting their unique energy signature. They either brought remnants of a replicator or an already fully operational machine on board one of their ships for study, unaware of the enormous threat they posed and the disastrous consequences this would have on their race. Replicators are highly adaptable, and once able to run loose on an Asgard ship, would immediately begin harvesting the non-essential raw materials found in the vessel's hull. They would only stop replication so as to avoid compromising the ship's integrity. As they multiply, they simultaneously infest their environment's technology, hindering any efforts to contain and defend against them. During this process, the technobugs only attack when threatened. However, doing so after a certain point is risky, as once they infest a vessel's technology, they can use it to serve their own purpose. They can disable sensors capable of detecting them and tamper with vital functions such as life support, transporters, and medical systems, turning them into weapons. The Replicators possess an impressive capacity for learning. After discovering Asgard technology, they quickly assimilated their knowledge, and by engaging in combat with them, they were able to adapt and overcome any tactic used against them. Upon accessing Asgard computer systems, they were able to locate a figurative gold mine in the resource-rich Asgard home galaxy of Ida. Replicator-controlled ships then invaded, sweeping across their various outposts and vessels like a plague, destroying everything in their path. The Replicators consumed the majority of the Asgard's resources, limiting the aid they were able to provide the humans of the Milky Way as they struggled against the spread of the Goa'uld Empire. After a lengthy conflict, the mighty Asgard found themselves losing the war against the machine menace. One reason for this was their overconfidence in their intellect and technology when engaging the Replicators. The Asgard thought the key to victory was to develop stronger alloys for their ships, more advanced technology to help them in their fight. But in the end, the Replicators became all the more advanced and formidable in the process of the war, as they adapted and absorbed the Asgard's technological discoveries. Another reason for the Replicators' victory in the Ida Galaxy is that they also possess knowledge from other sources that enabled them to modify the Asgard's own weapon technology to a level that surpassed their understanding. Their alliance with the far less advanced humans of Stargate Command helped the Asgard to achieve several key victories against the Replicator horde. This was accomplished with the deployment of less sophisticated resources and tactics. The Asgard found themselves no longer capable of such thinking, which continued to be their weakness. Subsequently, their propensity to fight technology with more advanced technology would backfire spectacularly. SG1's discovery of the android Reese led to the Asgard enacting a plan to use Reese's activation signal to lure all Replicators to a planet where they intended to trap them within a time dilation field, wherein time would pass significantly slower, essentially putting them in a state of suspension long enough for a black hole to finish the job. This would drastically change the tide of war. Upon the discovery of their long-lost creator, the machines realized that the design of the android's nanites were superior, and thus set about creating human-form replicators composed of the microscopic nanite cells. With the creation of this new generation of nanite-based human-form replicators, they were then able to access and reverse the Asgard time dilation device and speed up the passage of time. Several different human replicators were created, and the entire planet's resources were consumed. The human-form machines are able to control their insect brethren and are immune to both energy and traditional weapons fire. They also have the ability to directly access the minds of humans by inserting their hands into a subject's brain in order to learn all of their knowledge and memories. When SG1 was sent to the planet to fix the time dilation device, they experienced this torturous process. The one called Fifth, however, was different from the others, displaying curiosity and sympathy towards humans and a particular fascination with Samantha Carter. He was created with the capacity for emotion, with the intent of fixing the emotional flaws Reese had suffered. However, he was ultimately considered a failure. SG1, aware of the enormous risk to the Ida and Milky Way galaxies, used Fifth's human traits against him in order to enlist his help to restore the time dilation device's original functionality. Thinking he'd be allowed safe passage off the planet in exchange for his help, SG1 conspired to keep him trapped on the planet as well. Fifth had much time to contemplate this betrayal, and his malevolent inclinations hidden behind his childlike naivete were revealed. He became the leader of the Replicator horde, managing to escape the black hole's destruction by manipulating the time dilation device. With the goal of rebuilding their forces, Fifth set his sights on the Asgard world of Arilla, a planet rich in neutronium, a crucial element in Asgard technology and in the creation of human-form replicators. During this time, Colonel Jack O'Neill, his mind filled with the vast knowledge of the gate builders themselves, designed a new kind of weapon that permanently severed the communication between replicator blocks and cells, rendering them inert. With this new disruptor weapon threatening their existence, Fifth and a small swarm of replicators fled the planet, but not without obtaining enough neutronium to make one more human-form replicator. One with the exact likeness, knowledge, and memories of Major Samantha Carter. The Tauri Asgard alliance now presented a significant threat to the replicators, and the Milky Way Galaxy came directly into the crosshairs for an invasion by Fifth. However, Replicator Carter was not the consort he had originally intended her to be. Feigning loyalty and a form of love, while in reality seeing Fifth as flawed and weak, she came to despise him. With knowledge of the original Carter's character and memories, she manipulated and betrayed both Fifth and those of Stargate Command to accomplish her twofold purpose of finding a defense against the disruptor weapon while arranging for Fifth's destruction. Thereafter, she took over as leader of the Replicator Army with a newfound immunity to disruptor technology. With the ruthless Replicator Carter now leading the technological swarm, there appeared no way to stop them from conquering the galaxy. Upon entering the Milky Way, she first engaged in a massive assault against the Goa'uld, systematically conquering and assimilating their territories, technology, and resources. Once they were finished, all other populated worlds would be at risk, including Earth. While increasing their foothold in the Milky Way, Replicator Carter had the simultaneous goal to eliminate anything that could lead to the creation of another weapon capable of destroying their race. After kidnapping Daniel Jackson, she sought to gain the knowledge of the ancients he possessed. Through interrogation and deception, she found the information she was looking for. On the planet Dakara, once home to the ancient Stargate builders, it was discovered that a device once used to seed human life throughout the galaxy could be reconfigured to destroy the replicators once and for all. This ancient device was capable of reducing all matter to its basic elements, and could be reprogrammed so that its wave output matched that of an enhanced replicator disruptor. If this reconfiguration was successful, this meant that it would only decompile replicators. By programming the Dakara Stargate to dial every gate in the Milky Way network in conjunction with the deployment of the superweapon, the simultaneous destruction of all replicators scattered across the galaxy was made possible. This plan would give the replicators no time to adapt to the weapon. With all biological life at stake, the heroes of Stargate Command, along with their allies, were successful in activating the weapon and ending the replicator plague once and for all. Amazingly, the invasion of the replicators proved to be enough of a threat to unite the various factions of the Milky Way. This includes those who had long been mortal enemies. This development serves to indicate the dire gravity of the situation and the supreme threat the replicators posed, especially given how close all biological life came to being wiped out by the machine menace. But I'm curious to know what you think of the invasion of the replicators. Is there a particular phase in their evolution and history that stands out as your favorite? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe for more Stargate and other sci-fi and fantasy news and lore. Thank you all so much for your support. And as always, have a very nerdy day.